Hey friends, Elise Hu here. We're hopping into your feed today for something a little bit different. Later this season, we have an episode for you about how to talk to your kids about democracy. But with the political violence that has unfolded over the past week, and really a lot of incidents that have happened over the past years, we decided to share part of that conversation about democracy now. If you're trying to figure out how to talk with your kids about political violence, you're certainly not alone. A lot of us are trying to figure out what to say to our kids and how much to say, especially when it comes to neighbors and friends and family members who might have wildly different beliefs and ideas. So we put the question to Sharon McMahon so you have language you can use with your kids as early as tonight. A former teacher, she's an award-winning educator whose popularity has really skyrocketed on Instagram for the way she breaks down civics for all of us.
What you would want from a child in their second grade classroom who maybe had different beliefs, whose religious background said that, we don't approve of that. What you would want from that child is for them to respect your child. You don't need that second grader's stamp of approval of like, well, I approve of you, so your life's legitimate. Like, you don't need their approval to do what to have validity. But what you do want is for that child to respect your child and to treat them with kindness as a member of the community in the classroom. Right? That's what you would hope. Mm-hmm. That they're not going to be made fun of, or So the opposite is also true. You wouldn't want to teach your children that somebody whose, political beliefs that you believe are, say, bigoted, you wouldn't want to teach your children to be cruel to them.
Right.
Because how is that any better than the opposite being true?
Kids often take the political opinions or favorite sports teams of their parents. And I mention sports teams because politics these days can often mirror that, like, well, this is my team, and so therefore I root against your team, instead of a more kind of collective and cooperative approach. How do we encourage our kids to hold more compassion and nuance when it comes to political beliefs and not treat it like fandom, which is what we've seen so much?
This is a topic that I think some adults struggle with. We did not teach this to kids 25 years ago, and so consequently adults don't know this. Yeah. Some adults don't know this today, which is that two things can be true at the same time. This idea of like very black and white, either or, me or you, they won, they lost, red team, blue team, who won the World Series, this zero-sum thinking of, in order for me to win, you have to lose. That mindset has become very pervasive in the United States. And that mindset is not one in which, is not a fertile soil in which progress grows.
So this goes back to the question then, how do we encourage nuance? How do we encourage breaking down that just either or kind of thinking?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's explicitly telling our children two things can be true at the same time. That's not a message that kids hear very often. It's a message that we need to model for them. Yeah. Like, you actually can want to be friends with so-and-so in your class, and also that child was mean to somebody else today at lunch. I also think it's useful to think about things in terms of, a most generous interpretation. The most generous interpretation is not always appropriate, but it does help us see the world just generally with more compassion.
Thank you so much to Sharon McMahon for joining us. Our full conversation arrives later this season, so just tap follow or subscribe depending on where you are seeing this so you don't miss it. Raising Us is here for the tricky conversations with plain, real language you can use at home. For more tools and resources, visit us at akidsco.com. Thanks for listening to Raising Us.